This is Rob, and we're back with the news live from Cannes. And I am very lucky to have Visha Kudhail from Pinterest. Hey, Visha, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, awesome. Lovely day, right? We've really kind of done well.
Yeah, we've been blessed with the weather, but it's pretty hot, but we're getting there, aren't we?
Yeah. Good. Well, listen, we're excited to have you, and Pinterest is a long partner of ours, so we're happy to have you with us. So before we kind of get into it a little bit, we've been running brand safety summits and the brand safety series across the world. And one of the things that we think about when we expand the platform is we think of brand safety essentially as current events, and because if something happens in the world, media related, there's a fraud attack, there's a platform issue, there's something, it's essentially like the news. And so that's why we think it makes sense for us to be doing the news live from Cannes. Do you think we're thinking about it the right way?
I think you're completely thinking about it the right way. And actually, firstly, thank you for that question, because Cannes is all about celebrating creativity. And at the heart of that is really like protection and responsibility. And we at Pinterest, we take that so seriously. The world has changed over the course of the last few years. Audience behavior has changed. But that means that we've got to think quite carefully about media consumption. So we spend a lot of our waking time online, we spend a lot of our downtime online as well, and it really affects our psyche, how we behave with platforms. We've seen mental health declining quite dramatically. Creators are burning out, so these things are coming to the forefront quite a lot. We've been talking quite a lot about brand safety as an industry for many years, and this is a serious topic that we've got to constantly put at the forefront of everything that we do. But we've been talking a little bit more at Pinterest about what safety means, actually, what brand safety means as part of safety.
Yeah.
And that does mean, like, we have over 400 million people that come to our platform on a regular basis. But those people are people that we want to protect and like nurture and make sure that they are embracing an inspirational platform, because there's a lot of negativity out there. We've seen a piece of, we've actually done a piece of work actually called Pays to be Positive. And the one insightful piece of nugget that came through of that was 60% of adults say that the internet is a dark and scary place. Like how it's frightening to kind of see those stats coming through. So we are actively making decisions about what we say is okay and not okay on our platform. It's, as you say, news, but we are looking at it in a very proactive way. Positivity has to be built into our platform. At its very core, it's our mission to be an inspirational platform. So some of the ways we've done that has been, so we banned political ads on our platform. We actually recently banned, that's at the end of last year actually, banned weight loss ads, because body shaming has no place on our platform. And we lost some revenue from that, but we were okay with that because it's a decision that we made to keep our platform very inspiring.
Yeah.
We also banned misinformation. You would have seen some news recently. We banned climate misinformation. We have a lot of people looking for ethical and sustainable products on our platform, and we needed to make sure that we took that stance. We were actually the first platform to have those clear guidelines as well. So that was incredible for us.
Yeah, it's really important that we lead from the front, right? I like to say it's amazing, this 20-year-old industry, more than half the world's population touches it in some way.
Exactly.
And 10,000 people in the world, 100,000 people in the world manage it.
Yeah.
Like, think about it, if you messes with your head when you think about like what we touch and what we have the power. So we have to lead from ahead. So having said that, kind of we just got here last couple days. What's the coolest, most interesting, fun thing you've seen since you've gotten here?
Okay, can I be completely biased and say this? Because that's a very good question. I've got to say, Pinterest tattoos. So if you haven't been on up here, please come and see it. But it's been a little bit of the talk of the town, because it's something quite permanent, actually. What's been quite fantastic is then, from many of the conversations that I've had, is a lot of people are actually talking about, what tattoo shall I get that's actually resonates with my family? A few people have talked about, I've got tattoos myself, by the way. So
did you get one here yet?
I haven't. I'm going to book in. I'm really excited about that.
Okay. What's the wait list? How long is it?
I mean, if you get there early in the morning, you're
Yeah.
able to book in,
Oh
and
yeah.
we're happy to accommodate
Okay.
everybody.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's been lovely to hear about people say, "I want to get a tattoo that reminds me of my family."
Mhm.
So yeah, that's just really nice to see. So maybe we might tempt you to do that.
We'll see. Well, some of my team is definitely down, so for sure. But as Pinterest, as you, Visha, what do you? If you had said 2 or 3 things I want to get done this week, what are they?
Yeah, that is a very good question. I think Cannes is very busy and noisy for
Hmm.
all the right reasons, actually, because people are here to come and talk to each other, to learn from each other, and that's exactly what I want to do. It's been, I joined Pinterest over the pandemic, so I'm actually meeting some of my colleagues for the first time that I've been working with for 2 years. So I would love to have more in real life interaction, come and speak to people, talk about the things that they're finding challenging in their own businesses. Our industry is small and quite connected, and we will
Hmm.
learn better by understanding how things work from an operational perspective, how people are thinking about talent and how they're bringing talent into their businesses as well. So those things are very important, but also time to stop as well in this very busy environment.
Hmm.
One of the things that we did with our peer was really wrap it around our brand story. So um, creating a life that you love, it's very different here. Back to that thing that you just talked to me about, like safety and brand safety. We're showing people in advertising that the world is a lot more colourful, and we have a lot of negativity out there. There's a lot of imposter syndrome. So I hope that over this week we invite more people to embrace a positive environment, and that's happening on our peer.
Well, that's great. That's great. So that gets us back to the news.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing here is we're reporting the news live from Cannes. Is we're asking executives like yourselves to comment on stuff that's happening in the news. And so one of the things that seems to be happening here in a good way is just the amount of cultural consideration happening tied into safety, but tied into just this conversation of cultural consideration is it's obviously important to Pinterest, but it's important to everybody, and it's happening here more than ever. So how are you thinking about that?
I think cultural purpose and purpose just generally is such a big part of advertising. Uh, I I've been seeing that come through from a lot of the conversation. A lot of the panels that I've been going to visit have been really trying to understand what cultural relevance means, what brands could deliver for consumers. Like as I was saying, 2 years we've been in this kind of pandemic environment. It's been so confusing. I can't even say the word pandemic. Right, that
Don't
pandemic.
just don't. Yeah.
We've been in this kind of pandemic environment, which means that a lot of people have spent time really thinking about who they are and what they can offer. And whether that is whether you like the job you're in or whether you think about how your advertising really looks like. A lot of brands really think about purpose at the forefront, but also what being really relevant. And being relevant doesn't mean following a stereotypical blueprint that may have
Yeah.
been done before. Back to your point around what's at the beating heart of right now.
Yeah.
It's really understanding audiences. And a lot of people that I've been speaking to have really been figuring out, what does my audience want? What do they look like? What do they want from me?
Mm-hmm.
Am I pushing a product? Am I pushing a story? Am I showing up in their lives in a really meaningful way? So I think, I hope some of those conversations will continue.
Yeah.
There's, when we think about like deals start here or relationships start here, I hope that all of those conversations lead to a positive action and a positive environment, and that's where we start to think
Yeah,
about.
because you're in such a unique position, where you have such a big audience, it's such a big community. Like you can have the instant feedback. So what is the community saying? Like, are they? I'm sure they believe like the more that you guys are doing to be proactive on some of these areas, the community is probably thrilled, right?
It's a very good question. I think we've going back to the point around 60% of adults have said that the internet is a dark and scary place. We've also found that a lot of people are holding brands accountable of where they place their ads. So brands are actually paying that negativity tax when it comes to their ROI.
Yeah.
So when we're thinking a little bit about where our role is and how we can help people, we have first-party data. We want people to use it. We actively push out resources that are free for everybody to go like, right, okay, how do I make sure that my ad delivers for that audience? We used to have a conversation in the past about the right ad in the right place in the right moment. And we've all heard that, right? But the conversation right now should be the right ad on the right place with the right audience mindset. So if you're showing up if your ad shows up in the right mindset where people aren't looking for the news or looking to debate on political ads or things like that or political campaigns, if you're showing up in a place where they're looking to find something or like get an idea, your ad can really show up as in a purposeful way, in a meaningful way, and I bet you that they'll be more engaged and more likely to think about you. And we see that in our results.
And then the word safety comes through as the that's brand safety, but the word safety comes through, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Comes through. Yeah. So, all right. Well, this is great. Thank you so much for doing this,
Thank you
and
for
thanks
having me.
everyone for listening. This was the news live from Cannes.